glad that you exist for sure.
Time now for the question of the day.
That's right, our question of the day time. And this one came from a survey that I just found online this movie, a little survey by Monkey Ball that asked people to choose their favorite decade of music. Yeah, and apparently it seems that the 80s rule. 51% chose the 80s as their best decade for music, followed by the 90s, then the 2000 to 2010 era, and 2011 to the present got about 6%. But to me, all music is about the memories that it brings back to you. And sometimes, I'll hear a song and I'm back in high school, or I'll hear another song and I'm back in kindergarten because I've been listening to music as far back as I can remember. So it's really tough for me to kind of pick a decade that I do enjoy because it depends on my mood. If I'm ready to get hyped and a little bit excited, then I will go back to that 80s pop and some of the hard rock stuff and everything from then. Or, even the 90s had some really great music. And honestly, today, I feel that we've got a lot of great songs that are coming out right here. So this is a really tough choice for me, but I'd probably have to go, it's either going to be like 80s rock stuff or 90s country stuff for me as far as my favorite decade for music. But that is our question of the day. Do you have a favorite decade for music? Do you go back to your high school years? Do you go back to your college years, for that music that just gets you pumped up and get you going? So that is our question of the day. What is your favorite? I can say favorite, right? What is your favorite decade for music? Is it the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s? Is it the 2000 to 2010? Is it basically right now? Are you enjoying the music of the current decade, which I guess would be the 2020s, right? But absolutely, go ahead and let me know what your favorite decade for music is. I know you can do so on the Zia Comics hotline, the Zia Comics text line, 575-523-KGRT. And don't forget, we are up live on our socials right now, which means you can leave your comments on our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages. I'm even up on my personal page right up there if you want to leave a comment. So go ahead and let me know, what is your favorite decade for music? That is our question of the day. That's good. That's good. That's good. All right. We are exclusively up on our socials, and we've already got it. And Mom's already chimed in with this one. And to no surprise, her favorite decade is 80s country. And I can say that is pretty much true. Why? Because I know she is a big George Strait fan. And all of that country music in the 80s, she was a big fan of because I was listening to it while we were driving around. It's probably one of the reasons I know as many country songs as I do growing up as a kid. So not surprised with that one, Mom. Not surprised at all. Of course, we've got a text message just here. Let's see. Somebody's listening from East Peoria, Illinois, helping out with the in-laws. That is so cool. Must be listening on the app right there or online. So green and pretty up there. Okay, that was just, that's pretty awesome that somebody's listening in East Peoria, Illinois. They're actually sending a different text message, not about our question of the day, but right now it is all about our question of the day. What is your favorite decade for music? Like I said, do you go back to, maybe some of the that 70s outlaw country or 60s rock and roll, or is it the 80s pop stuff that was coming out then? A lot of people are a fan of then. Is it 80s country or 90s country? I know a lot of 90s country fans. I'm a big 90s country fan for sure. Or is it even today's music? Or just about everything? Did you enjoy the bro country music of the 2010s? It is one of those things where it is definitely tough to choose for me, especially because I've been listening to music for years. But that is our question of the day. What is your favorite decade of music? And while we're waiting for an answer, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the news that is going around in the world. Let's see. Chris Rock apparently is allegedly open to meeting with Will Smith if Will agrees to never publicly address their meeting. Interesting. Also, I heard that Paris Hilton has become one of the first people to hear Elton John and Britney Spears' new version of Tiny Dancer. They've gotten together to do that song. That would be pretty interesting. And The Blast says that Saturday Night Live star Kenan Thompson is going to get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on August 11th. Leslie Jones will be one of the guest speakers there. I think a well-deserved star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I've been a big Kenan Thompson fan for a long, long time. And apparently, the Toledo Zoo has installed a squirt button in their orangutan exhibit. When the orangutans hit the button, water shoots out and makes people jump, scream, and laugh. So I don't know. Does that mean that the orangutans are having fun, or are we having fun, or are they just making fun of us? That's a good question, I think, right there. So that's a few of the things that are going on in the world. And once again, our question of the day: what is your favorite decade for music? Is it the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s? Is it 90s country? Is it 90s rock? Is it 80s rock? All of those are possibilities there. So go ahead and let me know. We've got our socials up: Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So you can leave your comments there, or just give me a call on the Zia Comics hotline or text line 575-523. KGRT is the number there. But that is our question of the day. What is your favorite decade for music?